Grab a bar, lift your feet off the floor, and just hang there for 60 seconds. That's it. Sounds almost too lazy to count as exercise, right? But that one boring minute quietly goes to work on your shoulders, your spine, and the strength buried in your hands in ways most people never see coming. Here's something strange. Walk into any gym and watch what nobody does. People lift, people run, people stretch on the floor, but almost no one just hangs. It looks too simple to be worth anything, and that is exactly why it works. Think about how a shoulder is actually built. It's designed to swing overhead, to reach, to travel through this huge open arc. Now think about your real day. Arms glued to your sides, hands out front on a keyboard, fingers curled around a phone for hours. When was the last time you reached straight up and let your whole arm stretch out above your head? For most people, the honest answer is basically never. So the joint slowly forgets that range even exists. That's the first thing that changes when you start hanging, and it's the one people underestimate the most. When you grab a bar and let your body weight pull your arms fully overhead, you drop your shoulder into a position it barely visits anymore. All that daily hunching tightens the chest and the front of the shoulders while the upper back goes quiet and weak. Hanging flips that. It pulls the chest open, stretches the front of the shoulder, and wakes up the muscles that hold the shoulder blade steady. But there's a deeper thing happening that you can't feel at first. Gravity is gently tugging the top of your arm bone away from the socket. That tiny bit of space is the part almost nobody talks about, and it's where the real magic hides. That little bit of separation is called decompression, and it's like handing your shoulder a fresh start every single day. All day long, that joint is loaded, squeezed, pressed together by tension you don't even notice. Hanging is one of the only things that gently pulls it apart instead of jamming it together. This is why so many people who've lived with that dull, nagging shoulder ache for years suddenly notice it fading after a few weeks of doing almost nothing but holding onto a bar. And here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever watched someone walk toward you and thought they looked like gravity was slowly winning? The rounded upper back, the head drifting forward like it's trying to lead the body, shoulders curling inward like a shell. We call it bad posture, but that word is way too soft. What you're really looking at is years of quiet compression stacked one day on top of the next. And the wild part is that the same simple hang that resets your shoulders goes after that too. When you hang, gravity stops being the enemy and starts working for you. Your whole spine gets pulled long into what's basically gentle traction. Every one of those little bones in your back gets a fraction more room, and the discs sitting between them finally get some space to breathe. Your back is supposed to hold these smooth, natural curves, but hours in a chair flatten them out and press everything down like a stack of books nobody ever moves. That downward pressure is where so much stiffness and back pain actually comes from. It's that locked up feeling, like your spine has forgotten how to move. Hanging does the exact opposite. It stretches you back out, coaxes those curves into place, and lets the discs soak water back up like a sponge. And the strangest part of all, you're not doing a single thing to make it happen. You're just holding on. That's the whole job. No reps, no grinding, no effort beyond gripping the bar and letting go of everything else. Gravity handles the actual work, quietly stretching you out while you basically do nothing. There's something almost funny about that. We spend money on machines and gadgets and complicated routines, and one of the most powerful things you can do is just refuse to let go of a bar for 60 seconds. Except your hands might have something to say about that. Because the second you hang there, something else starts screaming for attention, and it's probably the weakest link in your whole body without you realizing it: your grip. Most people are genuinely shocked the first time they try to hang for 30 seconds and their fingers give out way before anything else does. You'd think holding your own weight would be easy. It isn't. And grip is not some minor party trick. This is the part that surprises people. Researchers keep finding that the strength of your grip lines up eerily well with how long and how well you age. Weak hands tend to track with a weaker, more fragile body overall. Strong hands tend to come attached to people who stay capable for decades. Nobody's saying squeezing a bar makes you immortal, but your grip is like a little window into the shape the rest of you is in. When you hang, your fingers, your palms, your forearms, and a whole crew of tiny muscles you never think about all have to fire at once just to keep you up there. You can't fake it, and you can't cheat it. And here's the good news: your grip adapts stupidly fast. Give it a couple of weeks of daily hanging, and suddenly you're holding on far longer than you thought possible. And that new strength starts leaking into things you'd never connect to a bar at all. Suddenly, heavy bags of groceries stop feeling like a workout. Jar lids that used to win just give up. And if you lift at all, the bar stops slipping out of your hands before your muscles are even tired, because your grip isn't the thing quitting first anymore. One weak link gets fixed, and half the things you do with your hands get easier without you training a single one of them on purpose. Now here's a myth worth killing. Most people picture hanging as this totally passive thing, just dead weight dangling off a bar. But under the surface, your back is quietly working the entire time. Your lats have to switch on to stop your shoulders from creeping up around your ears. Your upper back muscles fire to keep your shoulder blades sitting where they belong instead of sliding all over the place. It looks like you're doing nothing, but a whole team back there is holding you together. That constant low-key effort is teaching your body something. It's drilling the correct movement pattern over and over without you even trying. And this is why something weird happens to people who hang every day. Their pull-ups get better. Not sometimes. Often, even when they never practice pull-ups at all. The hanging quietly built the stability and the wiring they needed, and their body just cashed the check later. Then there's the stretch nobody warns you about. Hang long enough with your lower body loose and it isn't only your shoulders opening up. Your lats lengthen, your core gets pulled long. Even your hip flexors get in on it if you let your legs go completely heavy. Most people never once feel their whole front side stretch out like that because they live their entire lives folded into a chair, compressed from every angle, until their body slowly decides that folded shape is just who they are now. And that's the thing about your body. It becomes whatever position you feed it the most. Spend every day hunched and squeezed, and that hunch quietly turns into your default, the shape you carry even when you're trying to stand tall. But give it just 1 minute a day, fully stretched out, arms overhead, everything long, and it starts remembering what open actually feels like. Reaching up stops being a chore. Stuff that felt stiff and stuck starts moving smooth again, like something rusted that finally got some oil. There's even a benefit hiding in your lungs, which sounds strange until you feel it. When your ribs are dragged down by tight shoulders and a compressed spine, your lungs literally can't open all the way, so you spend your day taking shallow little sips of air without ever noticing. Hanging pries that whole cage back open. The ribs lift, the chest expands, and suddenly there's room for a real full breath. More air, more oxygen, a body and a brain that just run a little cleaner. And then there's the part that catches everyone off guard, because it has nothing to do with muscles at all. Hang for a full minute when you're new and your hands burn, your shoulders start shaking, and this quiet little voice begs you to let go. But when you don't, when you just stay there and ride it out, you're teaching your nervous system to stay calm while your body is uncomfortable, and that skill doesn't stay on the bar. It follows you into hard workouts, into stressful days, into every moment that asks you to hold steady when everything in you wants to quit. So how do you actually start? Almost embarrassingly simple. Find a bar anywhere, a gym, a park, a doorway. Grab it a little wider than your shoulders. Keep them pulled down away from your ears instead of shrugging up. Let your feet come off the ground and just hang. Don't pull. Don't flex. Keep breathing the whole time and let your legs go dead so the whole spine decompresses, not just the top. If a full minute isn't happening yet, nobody cares. Grab 10 seconds, shake it out, and go again until it adds up, because the streak matters far more than the number. And the second you make it something you just do every day is the second your body stops fighting the bar and starts changing on it.